How are we looking, team? All right. It looks like we have gone live. So if you are jumping in and you can see me, you can hear me, make sure you jump in, say hello. I'm just checking that we are good. We are live everywhere. The links seem to be working. Awesome. Yes. I can see that we are live. So if you guys are in the comments, please jump in, say hello. Make sure that you can all be joining us. These virtual lives are, we want to make sure everything is slick. I've got you all there. It seems to be loading still. Let's give that a minute. Once again, guys, if you're in there and you can hear me, please jump on the chat and say hello. All right, not just yet. Cool, awesome. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. And thank you for joining us, you legend of a man. We need to catch up because I hear you have got some ripper deals going on at the moment, and maybe we should jump in and have you sharing. So guys, welcome everybody to Coffee Catch-Ups once again. Today I'm very excited to have a really good friend of mine joining us, a friend that I've known for many years, and it's actually quite a fun story when we go back about how we know each other, and then we kind of didn't see each other for a while, and then we saw each other, and then we didn't see each other for a while. So the backstory is Chris and myself went to school together, and then he buggered off and lived in London for a while, and then I ended up following, and I decided to turn up in London without anywhere to stay. And ended up giving Chris, actually Chris found out through a friend of ours and sent me a message and said, I've got a couch free, and then ended up living in London with Chris. Later on, we found out that we'd both joined the Wealth Mentor team. Chris has gone on to do exceptional things within his investing. So Chris, welcome, and thank you for joining us today on Coffee Catch-Ups.
Thanks for having me, Jono.
Awesome. It's always good to have you on, and I believe you've taken a break from blowing the weeds outside and getting some housework done to join us today.
Yeah, full of dust. Yeah, in my eyes, and my ears, and my nose. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's my desk now.
yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, I was telling everybody on Friday that I've set myself some lockdown goals, and I shared my lockdown goals with my family, and I get a reply back from my wife with adding on a whole lot of household goals that she would like me to achieve over the lockdown period. So, you know, I guess I need to take a leaf out of your book, excuse the pun, and jump out there and get some work done in the house. So awesome. Yeah. So Chris joins us today, and you know, I think we're really blessed to have Chris joining us for what he's managed to achieve through his investing career, and really a short period of time since you jumped in with the Wealth Mentor family. So Chris, if you wouldn't mind just elaborating more on a little bit about your journey, I guess part of that as well, going from the situation of working for someone else to essentially where you're at now is having teams working on your projects.
Yeah, so I started out building, God, it would be, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago now in the UK, and came back and went through a few building companies until I found a really good one based in Howick, and loved working for them, and they were property traders as well. And so I was lucky enough to start my learning with them. Great people, and spent about 7 years with them, and then did my mentorship. And from there, I ended up leaving working for them and started my own building company. And gosh, we worked for clients for a little while we were still doing our own projects, not so big ones. And then from there, we moved on to slightly bigger ones, and then ended up, and currently we're working with our last clients, and we'll be just doing full-time projects from there on in.
I love the fact that that's been an evolution, I guess, of your pure building career. And I think a lot of that comes down to something that we're big on, and that's the mindset. And it's the way that you approach you know, how you earn your income. We talk a lot about Robert Kiyosaki's concepts around the rich dad, poor dad, and left side, right side. And there's a really massive shift that you've made in really a short period of time, from an employee to really becoming on that business owner, investor side of the quadrant. I mean, do you feel like it has been a mindset shift that's managed to take you there?
Yeah, definitely. It's been it hasn't been an easy shift, to be honest with you. Like, on paper, very easy shift because it makes sense, you know. But for example, changing from being a building company where you're quoting and estimating and then going and working for clients, that I still feel like I'm missing something because I'm not doing that anymore. And it's quite a hard shift to make, and it's quite scary as well, as I'm sure you could agree.
Yeah.
But it has been good. And for example, like today, I was looking over a set of plans for our next project, and I'm actually able to think about them properly and go, okay, let's shift those windows around and move that, and, you know, redo the electrical plan and everything like that. And so it's opening up more time for me to be able to work on doing the trading better as I shift away from filling my days up with quoting.
Yeah, I can imagine that quoting could be a hugely time-consuming element, and you know, that's obviously a vital part even for anybody that is in the property trading game. Now, for those of you that are interested in hearing more from in regards to the renovation side, we actually have a summit coming up, which I'm super excited about. It was actually launched on our social medias about half an hour ago. So after this, make sure you jump on our social media and check it out. So Chris will be one of our special guests on a summit coming up on the 11th of September. And Paul Southey will be the other guest, and we'll be talking a lot about some more of these elements. And I know that one of the topics that you'll be covering off is how do you actually create a budget for renovation for a trade? You know, what are some of the things that you consider when you go through that in terms of, you know, your trading?
When we first started, I would get someone else to look over the numbers, because yes, we've been doing it for a while, but you know, you sort of want to double check and make sure everything is actually going to work. Now I don't so much need to do that because I know how much, you know, for example, a reclad is going to cost, or a cosmetic tweak of a property is going to cost, just by square meterage.
Yes.
But yeah, when you're working to start with, you need to work closely with your builders and architects and get them to price it, so you don't go in and get an over your head.
Yeah, especially on those bigger projects for sure, because there's some, you know, some seriously big unknowns, and always ensuring that you have your contingency attached to it as well, so you can make sure that you are keeping yourself safe through the project as well. So in terms of your trading business, what is it that you're looking to achieve within, you know, your teams that you have going on, and you know, the number of deals that you're doing? I know the answer to the question, but I'd like you to share, you know, for people, you know, you've got multiple teams working. How do you roll your projects through? How does it look as a business investor in terms of running a full-time trading business?
So it's based on timelines for projects, how long each individual project is going to take, and then making sure we're purchasing and working in with our architect's timeline, so know that we're going to have stamped plans from the council back in our hand, ready to turn soil before we finish the current project that we're on. And so we're sort of currently, we've got 3 projects in the pipeline, and working on 1. And so we're going to look to up that to 5 in the next 6 months. Wicked.
And does it, you know, I've talked about my lockdown goals. Obviously, in terms of your own personal development, goals is always something that we aspire to. We set goals and we look to achieve. I know that you've shared a lot of personal elements of goals, and we're not going to share that in a public forum, but how do you go about setting your goals, and what is that ultimate goal for you?
Ultimate goal is to not have to think about money.
Yeah.
Not have to worry where it's coming from. Not have to worry about putting food on the table or filling up the launch, which is on the goal list.
Absolutely.
Anything like that, just to not have to even think about it.
Yeah, and I think we'll be having wealth mentor catch-ups in the Hauraki Golf, because I had Belinda on the show yesterday, and her goal is to buy a yacht so she can sail over while you potter over in your launch, and we'll have nice little catch-ups in the Hauraki Golf.
That sounds really good. Yeah.
So Chris, to go outside the norm and change the 9 to 5 and to start to look to achieve the next level of wealth or of mindset, what are some of the things that you do in terms of your own personal development to ensure that you're constantly learning, you're constantly improving on who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, gotcha. So one, I always surround myself with people who are motivated and trying to push as well. Most of my close friends, yourself included, are always trying to push to the next level. And so that's inspiring for me. And also just in the evenings, for example, like I love my audiobooks. I'll just go and sit outside on the deck for half an hour to an hour with a drink and just work my way through my audiobooks. And it's not Dragons and Dungeons. It's, like Robert Kiyosaki's books and books along like self-help books, for example.
I know the Cardone one was one that stood out to you.
Yeah, Cardone. I've worked my way through most of his ones. He's a good read or listen. See that one I'm doing at the moment, 7 Habits of Successful People, I think it's called. That's quite good. Cool. So just work my way through my books.
Nice. What would be one book you would say would be one you'd like to recommend to people?
Oh, Rich Dad Poor Dad was the one that really started me on this journey. And so that one is quite good. And the one I'm currently reading is good too, The 7 Habits of Successful People. I don't think that's actually the name, but
I'll tell you what, we'll find the name and we'll put it into the comments section of this video to make sure that people can jump on and have a look at. And I love it as well. You talk about your time on the deck. You said you grab yourself a drink, cold lager or a nice whiskey, sit on the deck there and jump in those personal developments and really get into your space and just look to constantly improve. And as well as that, obviously the fact that you've attended some wealth mentor events in the past, that's obviously something else that's big for you. And we're really blessed to have you joining us on some of the summits. So really looking forward to the 11th of September, hoping that we can jump in and do it together in the same space, but we'll see how we go considering the current times. Interesting times they are for sure. So as a property trader, and I'm actually, while I'm at it, jump in the chat, guys. Can you let me know what are some of, there we go, there's comments coming through, 7 habits of highly effective people. There we go. That's the one. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Stephen. Jump in the chat and let us know what are some of the strategies that you're currently doing in your investing, because I know for Chris, obviously trading is 100%. You're in that full time. For some people, it's a split strategy. I think the way that the tax changes have happened, split strategies really become a lot more of a desirable option to potentially developing and buy and holding at the same time, or trading and buy and holding, because tainting effectively becomes nothing. So what are some of the strategies for you guys that are joining us live that you are looking to on your investing side of things? And Chris, are you within your strategies, are you pretty set on what you're doing now? Do you have the long-term vision to then move into the buy and hold space?
Yeah, so we're looking to start moving into the buy and hold space early next year. And just because we don't need our own money to do the trading, it frees up all the profit to do buy and holds. And so we'll just run a joint strategy like you're talking about before and move forward with that.
I love that concept that you don't actually require your own money for trading. I love how you just casually drop that in there. And this here is really the next level of the mindset shift over from the left side to the right side, is looking to utilize the whole concept of OPM, other people's money where they are investing in you in order to turn over investment properties. They are getting a damn good return for their money as well. I'm sure your investors are over the moon with what they're achieving with your deals, but at the same time, it helps you as an investor.
It's a team sport. Yeah,
it is a team sport. Actually, elaborate on that. What are some of the elements of your team? Who do you see in your immediate team as being the vital elements of your team?
Investors, yes, they're vital.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping them happy and giving them good returns. And my agents that I work with, they're probably almost more important than the investors, because they bring the deals to us. And obviously my staff are fantastic. I'm blessed to have such a great group of people around me. Yeah. And we can, that's about it really. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's about creating relationships, and something that we often hear is properties about people. It's not necessarily about anything else. You want to create the profits, you create the relationships, you develop those relationships, and the profits will flow with it. I love a comment here coming on from Stephen, door knocking for dollars. Love that. So, Chris, one of the things that I always jump in and have a bit of a chat to people that come on this live stream with me, and something I want to ask you, and feel free to elaborate. For some people, it's a nice long, we had Paul on Friday, and Paul loves to chat, and you asked Paul about this question, and he gave me all his inspiration and his, but for some people, it's really short and sharp. It's a question that, for me is vital for the company that I run, the whole concept of wealth, because wealth is so different for every individual. There's the individuals that, they love the Rolexes. For some of the individuals, it's about the fact that they can go down and spend, pick their kids up from school every day. What for you as an individual does wealth mean? What does it do for you? And what does that actually mean to you, the concept of wealth?
Yeah, I used to think it was time, the creation of the ability to use your time how you want. And with these lockdowns and everything like that, I found that the more time I've got, the less I do and the less I achieve. So I touched on it earlier. It's just getting rid of that thought process of where's the money coming from, just get rid of that and then just do it for fun. I love trading, love it.
Yeah.
And I just want to do it for fun, not so much for hitting goals and targets and everything like that. So time comes into that as well, and create the ability to be able to stop for a year and go on a trip, maybe overseas, maybe. So it is a combination of time and comfort. It is a tough question, actually.
It is a tough question, and like I said, it really comes down to the individual, what it is. And you go through all these live videos that I've done with the awesome guests so far. I had Belinda on yesterday, I had Lawrence on, I had Paul on. Everybody's given me a slightly different answer. And we've got a couple of rippers coming up for the end of this week, two people that you know as well. Helen's joining me tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I mean, when it comes to achieving exceptional stuff and being the most humble about it you could ever imagine.
She's amazing.
Yes, definitely don't want to miss that one. And then on Friday, we got a little bit of a different spin on things. We got Shane joining us as well, cool. Which will be really cool. So exciting couple of episodes coming up.
Right.
I didn't pre-warn you on this one, but
right.
Yes, I know. Parting words that you would like to leave the viewers that have jumped on and watching this live. I've checked out, we're getting up to some 400 people jumping on and watching these videos within a week. It's really cool to see such a great reach, and people have been amazing and really inspired by everybody's own story. If you were to leave people, and this would completely be your take on things, what are some things that you would like to leave people with today that can really show them a way or give them some inspiration, or whatever it is for you that you'd like to share with people that have jumped in and watched.
Jeez Louise.
On the spot, there you go.
Inspirational words you're asking for.
Or just something that you would like to leave people with. You know, for example, Belinda, like yesterday, was like, well, lockdowns are tough. As a mum, they're freaking tough. For Paul, it was like, keep your head up, you know, use this time to regroup in lockdowns and let's come out strong. And you know, for everybody, it's something unique. What for you would be something that you'd like to?
Well, I'm not going to touch on lockdown at all. I'll stick with the property thing. I found out about myself recently that it doesn't matter how much you do, I'm always terrified. You know, like we do some reasonably big deals, and every time I'm signing a sales and purchase agreement, I'm terrified. But just like my partner said to me, she goes, "Why do you keep doing it? Like it scares you." Like I'm like, "Because you got to push through. Otherwise, nothing changes." And so, yeah, that's probably it. Just grab the fear and keep going.
Mate, that's the one. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And for those of you that have watched this and want to see more from Chris, we'll be seeing him on the summit. The adverts in our Facebook page, on our Instagram. Jump in, give it a like. It's going to be an awesome summit with Paul and Chris. Can't wait. September 11. It's a 3-hour summit brought to you 10 a.m. New Zealand time. So make sure you jump in, and can't wait to have you there, Chris. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate you taking a break from blowing the leaves. I'll let you get back to it. And we'll chat soon, my friend, and keep up the awesome work.
Thanks for the invite. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, mate. See ya.